What's up, guys? How's it going? Hope you're all doing well. In today's video, I want to talk about one of the matchups taking place on the Ben Eubank undercard this weekend, and that is Azim versus Kurt Scoby in the 140-pound division. Not sure if it's Scoby or Scooby. However, he steps in here on late notice to face Azim, who is obviously a highly touted British prospect, 13-0, with 10 of those wins coming by way of knockout, 23 years young. Azim possesses blazing fast hands, probably the fastest guy in the 140-pound division. So in this fight, he's going to have a huge speed advantage. And I would recommend, obviously, for him to use his speed and boxing abilities, use his combinations, but be smart. Don't get into a war with Scoby, as Scoby has got real power. Scoby's record is 18 wins, 1 defeat, with 16 wins coming by way of knockout. The one defeat that Scoby had was back in 2024 to Dakota Linger, who is an American journeyman, who was a very tough opponent, and he was able to take Scoby's power, and he really put it on Scoby in that matchup, applied a lot of pressure, threw a lot of punches, and sort of just overwhelmed Scoby and got the stoppage in that fight. So very different style to that Azim has. Azim's more of a slick boxer. Like I said, Dakota Linger was pressure fighter. Since that loss that Kurt Scoby had, he's amassed, a 5-fight win streak with his new trainer, and he has made some improvements, notably just, better use of his jab, better jab defense, better head movement, and just being a lot more composed and patient in there as well. And in this fight, obviously, Scoby's taking it on short notice. However, like I said, he's been very active. So I think he fought as recently about a month ago. So even if he loses this fight to Azim, which he is the underdog in, I wouldn't say that it's because of it being on short notice and him being out of shape, as he's in shape. He fought very recently. But yeah, this to me is actually a very exciting fight, and one that I'm going to be, watching closely, as, like I said, Scoby definitely has real power. And in my opinion, there is value on Scoby in this fight. He's a huge underdog. But like I say, if he catches Azim, he could hurt him and he could stop him. And Scoby has a decent jab, or actually a very, very hard jab himself. It's almost like a power shot. And in this fight, I would recommend him to use his jab, look to try and cut the ring off on Azim. Try get to Azim's body as well. Use the jab up and down, use his feints, change levels, and look to set up one of those big right hands or left hooks. He has power in both hands, and in my opinion, he's a real threat and a very physically strong guy as well. So use your strength in this fight. If you're in Azim's corner, obviously you want him to just use his boxing ability, use his speed, and don't get into a war with Scoby, as he's a huge puncher in this division. Azim possibly could get a late stoppage in this fight, or points victory, in my opinion. He has the height and reach advantage over Kurt Scoby in this fight, and he should try and utilize that. His last victory for Azim was probably his best performance of his career, which was a 9th round TKO victory over Sergey Lipinets, who's sort of like a fringe level contender or gatekeeper in the 140-pound division. And in that fight, Azim, he boxed well, showed good punch selection, good combinations, good speed. His fight before that was a victory over O'Hara Davies, who's also sort of a British level guy. And in that fight, once again, showed a lot of speed, showed a lot of boxing ability. Azim, quite a skilled guy, like I say, probably the fastest guy in the 140-pound division. And then Kurt Scoby, he's coming off of an 8th round TKO victory over a southpaw Alex Martin that he fought in his last fight out, which is a little bit over a month ago. Before that, he had a decent performance against also sort of a well-known sort of gym fighter out of America, Lydell Rhodes. And in that fight, Scoby, he fought pretty well and used his jab well. However, he was the taller and had the longer reach of the two fighters in that fight. In this fight, he's going to have a slight height and reach disadvantage against Azim, as well as a big speed disadvantage as well. But yeah, timing beats speed. So if Scoby can time him and land one of those big shots, he could possibly knock out Azim here. So like I say, good fight. In my opinion, very exciting matchup. And I'm favoring obviously Adam Azim to win this fight, probably via a late stoppage. Is if I was to predict, I think Azim probably gets a stoppage late. However, if he doesn't stop him, I would think he wins pretty comfortably on points. Um, However, like I say, Scoby is a real threat with his power, and who knows, maybe he can land something and pull off an upset here. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are in the comment section below. Thanks for listening. Talk to you guys again soon. Cheers.